Hi. What I want to do is give a brief lesson on music theory, and hopefully this will be kind of the last time that I do this before I actually go on to showing things on the guitar. But I think it's really important that we look at a chart for a moment. And here, what I have here is this is a guitar, and you'll see that here would be the nut, and this will go up to the 12th fret. Of course, it keeps going in that direction, but I think you only need to know it, this part of it. And I've laid out some notes here, but what I want to do is I want to start here and think in linear terms, in terms of how a piano is laid out, because I just think it's just a better way of understanding things. And what you'll notice is let's just talk about the keyboard on the piano. And one of the things that we tend to do as guitar players is we tend to start with an E. And I guess that's fine. Really, in music theory, it's better to start with a C, but let's just, for now, we'll just start with an E, for example. And you'll notice that the way the notes progress on a piano, you'll have E. All right, let's go ahead. You have E, and you'll have F. And then between the F and the G, you will have a sharp. Or you can call it F sharp, or you can call it B flat. I mean G flat, whatever. And if you look at this, you'll see that this pattern exists all the way up, which means that between E and F and between B and C, there is no sharp or flat. These are just whole notes. But between all of the other notes, there's a half step that goes up. There's a sharp or a flat. So for example, F to G to A. So you're going, you have an F, then you go a half step to the whole step, half step, whole step, half step, whole step, whole step, whatever. And you'll see that there's this pattern that is created. And you're going to see that on the guitar. Same thing. Here's your E. And then it's going to go F, then there's a half step, because there's nothing between E and F, right? There's no E sharp or F flat, no such thing. But between F and G, there is. And then between G and A, there's a space. Again, between B and C. So that's how a guitar is laid out. So guitar is like the piano in that sense. All right. The only thing that's different, obviously, is that the piano is completely linear. There's only one way to play that note. All right, only one way to play that note. Whereas the difference on a guitar is that this note, let's just get rid of all of this for a minute. It's three-dimensional in the sense that if you take this note here, you can play it here as an open string, or you can play it as a fretted string on the fifth fret of the E string, and these are exactly the same note. And there will be a lot of that going on. You see that's the same, and that's the same. You'll see that that's the same, and that's the same. And it goes in this direction, goes in that direction. So I'll get back to that. But first, let's just talk about, let's make sure that we understand how music works. So let's get all of this. All right. So what happened was unfortunately I got rid of something here. So here's how the scales work. You'll see that it goes E, F, G, A, B. There should be something there, C, and then there's a D, and then there's an E, and there's an F. And a good way to remember it is that these spaces. This is how I learned it. This is a mnemonic here. F, A, C, E. So all the spaces are F, A, C, E, is space. The lines are E, G, B, D, F. And a good way to remember that is every good boy does fine. That's the way I learned it when I had taken piano lessons. And this is the way the scale on a piano lays out. Now here, there isn't a line for a flat or a sharp. You would just signify it in a note, so that if you had it on your scales sheet, and you had a note that is right there, that would just tell you that's, whoops, okay, F A C E. You know that right there is an F sharp, or you can call it, it's either going to be an F sharp or a G flat, whatever you want to call it. All right, if it doesn't have that, then it's just an F. All right, so now let's talk about, let's clean this up here. So we want to try to have a system for learning the notes on the guitar. And what we're going to do is I'm going to stop here, and then I'm going to go to part 2.